Going live. Turning it on. And we're live. Yes, we should be. Somebody double check. But yeah, hey, I want to say welcome to Real Deal Xbox Podcast. We're constructively critical, but we also like to have a little bit of fun. And today we've got a really, really awesome guest in developer Kalechi. We'll come to his introduction here in a second. We got to say, first and foremost, thanks for tuning in. You guys power the show. You're making one of the biggest Xbox podcasts in history. And again, you enable us to get our voices out there, which also are some of yours, right? So thanks for joining us once again. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two we're live. We've got Mav. You're filling in for Fonzarelli. Turns out he couldn't. He told me last night. I forgot to take it out of the post. But yeah, Fon's in here today. Mav is filling in. How are you, Mav?
Doing fantastic, dude. I don't know if I can fill Fonz's shoes, though.
He's got size. He wears size 7. You'll do fine.
Okay, I'm a little bit bigger than that, at least. So,
okay.
Shout out to Fonz, man. I'm super glad to be here. Second time on this show. First time was crazy. That was a crazy show when I was here the last time. But dude, we got an actual developer here and lots of cool stuff happening right now. So I'm excited to be here at this time, dude.
Hell yeah. We've also got xCloud Tim Dog, brother. How you been?
Been very good. Happy to be here. Awesome that we have a nice developer as a guest. Always appreciate these types of shows and looking forward to hearing what he has to say and talking about the weekend video games, Xbox, and everything else.
Hey, and we've also got Zalker87 radioing in from his Astro A50s because he forgot his mic. Yep. He's a fraud.
I'm a fraud. I'm at my parents. And can you not lie to the community? Fonz is not here because Sony paid him. They said, we don't want you on this podcast. They're paying for it. Microsoft's putting the whole big thing together. It's a big thing now. Fonz is a confirmed pony. Paid. It's over. Just move it on.
That's all true.
It is 100% factual statements.
I don't know, though. He liked From Dust Falls, so maybe not. But we miss Fonz. He'll be back next week. We also, we're missing D-Batch. He went to some kind of volleyball meetup or something like that. I don't remember. It was something crazy he was doing. But we do got again, guys, let you know we got a lot of awesome topics. We'll be talking about Stormrite, showing some footage of the game. And, of course, getting your perspectives on everything that's happening. So let me start first with my patron shout-outs, starting with Hargeet. Shout out to Hargeet, Boba Fett Gaming. We also got Reluctant Dodo, Nerdy Meathead, Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, Dave Incubus, Ricky Falon, Faultlines, Not Sialek, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nanopolymath, Court, Zordin, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 8402, Strike, Khalifa Assassin Lupa, which I have not heard from her anytime recently. If anybody has, let me know. Hopefully she's doing well. We've also got Foreign Object, Gag, Quisteo, John Blue, Vegboss, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being RDX sponsors once more. Now, by the way, did you guys know that Xbox are kind of pissed about some stuff? I don't know if you guys heard about these. They're getting blocked right now. Apparently, according to them, they say that Sony pays for blocking rights to keep games off Xbox Game Pass, and they did make this claim in legal documents filed with the Brazilian regulators this week. This is kind of a big deal, and isn't it weird? Why is everything going down over there? Are they trying to keep this kind of low-key, this scuffle back and forth, Zalker? And what do you take from this whole, being blocked from Game Pass thing? We heard about this with Resident Evil 8. A lot of people didn't think it was true then with the Capcom leak, and apparently, they are putting in contracts that you're not allowed to join Game Pass within like a year.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? If you remember, a year and a half ago, we had a super intense argument with Fonz because we were making fun of the bad contract. Mm-hmm. Who would have thunk Fonz was fucking right? Because when you look at everything that's happening with this, the documentation, everything, it is that simple. Sony is basically blocking developers and blocking publishers when they sign deals with them to put things on Game Pass. That is the funniest thing in the world to me because we made fun of it thinking there's no way. But no, it is actually happening. And that's what Sony is doing at the Brazilian legislation right now and across probably other ones like New Zealand, saying the same thing. Being hey, this is what's happening, is that this thing going into Game Pass hurts us, it hurts the gaming industry, and it hurts other services because no one's going to be able to compete with it.
And that's basically what they're saying. They believe, yeah, you're right. They do say subscription services will devalue games, right? And they'll basically make games worse, which I don't believe to be true at all. They also say that the $10 entry fee of a service-based game, something in Game Pass, It's just they can't really compete with that with a fully priced title, which again I think it's kind of silly.
And it's not just that though, right? Like it's Microsoft kind of coming back at them. Like Microsoft saying, you know what? Yeah, this is exclusivity. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting stuff on our platform, which is Game Pass, but it's not going to be on one platform. It's on PC, it's on there, it's on cloud. They kind of have a different argument. And they talk about Sony kind of coming back and saying, hey, you guys literally locked down exclusives on your platform for years on end. So what's the difference? How does that not hurt games? And that's what they're calling out. Like if you look, and it's not just like the Final Fantasy shit, right? It's everything else. It's the dungeon or whatever the hell, the strike that Destiny got. It's the Spider-Man thing that Avengers got and killed themselves. It's all this other stuff that is actually hurting the industry that Sony is doing that they're calling out. And so it's like this big back and forth. It kind of reminds me of Epic and Apple, right? That thing that have all these like leaks come out because of like how public it is. And it's like, that's what's happening right now. And no other publisher, like from what we've seen, is going that hard other than Sony. Sony's going really hard in these things because if you see WB and all these other publishers, they're talking like, whoa, no, that's not, it's actually pretty good, or it does this, and yeah, there's competition to Call of Duty, it's called Apex, and all this other stuff. Like they're saying that Xbox does have competition, Activision Blizzard does, because there's EA, there's Ubisoft, there's a bunch of games out there. Like even Rainbow Six Siege has 70+ million people playing it. Like there is competition to Call of Duty. Sony just doesn't have anything to compete with multiplayer games. That's why they're saying things like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because they are, I mean, it's almost like Sony don't believe that Microsoft are going to leave Call of Duty on PlayStation. And again, Microsoft recently reiterated that they fully intend on leaving Call of Duty on other platforms. In fact, it wouldn't be as profitable if they didn't. Now, they still haven't told us anything about that. They haven't told us what parts. I assumed, and we all assumed, that the free-to-play or the multiplayer would definitely remain on PlayStation. But I really want to, let me grab these two things so I don't fall behind with these. New Soul 9, by the way, he says, quick question. Once the Activision deal is complete, what IP should they bring back? Honestly, man, I do not know. It's I'm
StarCraft.
Yeah, I mean, okay. That's all. That one ain't dead. I thought he meant from the past. And we got Drawn TJ. Zalker, do you have these? You want to get this one?
Yeah, I got you.
And then I want to hear from Kalechi on some of this blocking rights stuff from his perspective as a developer.
Yeah, so let me get this one. We got Drawn TJ says, hi guys, this is going to be fire show. I wish they could bring back the snap feature. Just give us the option to turn it on and off. If it would be nice to have to play in new Madden and watch you guys on the snap feature. That took up a lot of RAM, man. That took up a lot of resources to run while playing games, and that developers basically asked for it to be gone, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was reading Risket's chat. I didn't even catch part of that. Sorry. What? Yeah, what Zalker said, TJ. Thank you very much, man. Sorry. Risky, yeah. What's going on, man? Kalechi, hey, there's a lot of things going on. I'm sure you guys are you guys talking about this kind of internally or behind the scenes? Have you noticed some of these trends with fellow developers? Have you seen some of the writing yourself? Would it discourage you from joining a service like Game Pass, because of something like these apparent blocking rights?
Well, it's not really something that my team per se has talked about much because we haven't been involved with Sony at all, so it's not really something we have to consider at the moment. But it would be interesting. I might start talking to some other developers on this whole thing because the whole Microsoft.
Kalechi, hold on.
Hello?
Can you stop talking? Dealer, are you there?
Oh crap.
You're buffering. The stream is down, so nobody's hearing Kalechi. I
I
don't want him to answer the question and then nobody hears anything.
Yeah. I mean, anytime the stream's down, you should probably say, "Hey, the stream's down."
I just literally saw it. They're saying mine just started. Hold on,
Dude, I noticed something was up. It's weird I can hear you, and they could probably hear this conversation. I think they could last time, but just not in real time. But yeah, I can hear you guys, but my internet is kind of going haywire here. I got gigabit, but it's pretty demanding to run this 1440p stream. It seems like we're back to normal now.
Yeah, it looks like we're back to normal.
Hit refresh, guys, if you haven't.
Yeah. I think we're back. Yep, it's back up. We're good.
Sorry, someone said Sony's blocking the podcast in the chat.
Sony's blocking. Hey, it's all jokes, man. Some people take this shit way too seriously. But hey, again, shout out to everyone here. If you laugh and come back, thank you very much. But Kalechi, again, blocking rights. You're a developer. I just want your perspective on what this means and how this could complicate things for you, or your personal thoughts on these blocking rights.
Yeah, so for us at the moment, it's not really a problem because we haven't dealt with Sony at all. We've just been strictly with Microsoft and Xbox. But it would be interesting to talk around and see how this whole, Game Pass and Sony thing plays out with developers, because it could go one of two ways. It could be harmful to developers, or it could be a kind of thing like both these companies are competing for developers, so there ends up being, more lucrative deals, more interesting deals, and it kind of bumps up the deals for developers. But it's interesting because there's always just something new. You go on Twitter, there's something new. The next day, something new. Next day, something new. And like by the time we release, the climate will be completely different. So it's really hard to make decisions at the moment based on our project. But I guess at the end of the day, it's business. I see why Sony would want to do it from their point of view, but for gamers and for developers, it might not be the best outcome. But again, it is, they're doing it for their best interest, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but there's always kind of been a stigma around paying people just to keep shit off other platforms, I guess. And in a way, you can look at this as anti-competitive because they do have a competing service. And though it's not entirely competing on every level right now, they, like I said years ago, they've started this thing with PlayStation Now. They've rebranded it to Premium. And, it's got more downloadable games than Game Pass. It not quite as good as streaming or anything like that. But they, with a little work, they could be on the same level with Day and Date or a similar level. This can be viewed as kind of anti-competitive from my book. I don't know. I mean, do you see it like that at all, Kalechi, or do you're kind of letting the cards play out and see how it rolls?
Yeah, I guess you could definitely see it that way because I guess, yeah, you want to keep as much competition as possible, but it's really just hard to predict what's going to happen and what is happening and what's going on behind the scenes, how many countries this is happening in, how many developers this is happening with. So I guess once we get more information, we can probably start to think about, okay, how does this affect the future of Game Pass and the future of, PlayStation and Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a little bigger of a deal if, let's say, another publisher was saying something. Right, because when you look at those documentations, that it's a very sore thumb. Like you just see Sony standing out, like they're the only ones complaining. Like I'm not joking. Like if you look at everything that they're saying, they're kind of like, eh. Like Amazon and like all the other companies are like, we don't have enough information to talk about it, so we're not going to. Like that's literally one of the replies.
That's why Microsoft called them out on their hypocrisy, though, right? Because they're literally complaining about the one thing that they do all the time. They've been doing it to grow their business on PlayStation the entire last generation. Right, that's why they stopped trying to make a first-person shooter. That's why they don't know what a first-person shooter is, and that's why they think it's in a genre of its own.
Look,
right?
Don't say those blasphemous things about Killzone, okay?
They tried to compete with Halo back in the day with Killzone, and they tried to compete with Call of Duty back in the day with Resistance in all these games, and they just couldn't do it. So they paid more money. They got the exclusivity, not exclusivity, but the marketing rights, and created this casual brand awareness around PlayStation. And they did it with JRPGs and all these things as well. And pretty much blocked a lot of stuff coming to Xbox. It hurt Xbox a lot last gen. Xbox did a lot of bad things last generation, but also it was a lot done with these deals, right? And I also blame the publishers that took those deals, because it's also kind of bad for business if you just side with one platform, because you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen in the long run. The Capcom deal that was exposed before, that's a horrible deal. Take $5 million or whatever it was up front and not be able to do any future deals, and then have what the worst part of it was the rights of refusal.
Yeah.
After the year's up, to be able to have to show them your contract offer.
You have to reveal how much someone else offered you.
That's ridiculous. And you only get $5 million up front, and then would be creating brand awareness for PlayStation, and maybe you get some marketing and stuff like that. But what's even more interesting is we haven't seen one of the exclusive contracts, right? I want to know what one of those Square Enix contracts looks like, right? Or what
those 2-year monsters, right?
Deathloop or whatever those deals were, because I could imagine if the marketing rights was that strict, I can imagine even how much more strict the exclusivity contracts were, right?
Well, I want
to hear from Tim real quick on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, overall, this is their play against Call of Duty, and they're trying to block it. They're definitely nervous. They see the writing on the wall, as a lot of people do. But for them to claim the claims that they have is kind of rich of them, because they've done this numerous times in the past. Even Xbox pointed out that they were outsold 2-1 last generation. So this is hardly a case where, a leading company is, dominating and then they're just buying somebody and just, totally dominating the market. Sony is still well ahead and the leader. And a lot of it's because they've made these type of deals and they've done it since Dreamcast. They've kept games off other platforms. So for them to say all that stuff, it's really, ironic since they're like the king of that. They're the king of keeping the game off of your system. Exclusivity deals, 2-year deals, Deathloop. You look at so many games that have, not only do they have these clauses, that were put into them, but they're, look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. We don't even know if that's ever coming. And that's a completely, third-party deal that Xbox should have on their platform. So I just feel like, for this stuff to get published, this stuff is all real. This stuff it's published because in Brazil, I believe they have full clarity, so they show everything that's been talked about. So these documentations were actually put out there by the Brazilian government, and then they were translated by somebody on Reset Era.
Oh no,
and, no, but basically it's all factual stuff.
Yeah. Somebody else double translated, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so it's been translated, and you see the type of stuff that goes on, and Sony right now. And I heard when when the deal went through, and I'm sure you've heard too, like they were had meetings around the clock.
Mm-hmm. That's why they didn't really have a break over Christmas, right?
Right. Yeah, they were really taken back by this Call of Duty deal, and I think that they want this deal to be blocked, and they're pushing for it, and who knows where it will go, but it just goes to show you how ugly this stuff is. And as I've told many times to Xbox themselves, straight to the executive face, these people aren't your friends. They don't want you here. They don't want you in their space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten pretty ugly. And I'm just glad that Xbox is, holding ground, because I think that they do have a case here. And especially with the game going, it's going to be still on their platform, and it's going to still be on Sony. I just find the whole thing, really kind of like silly that one's playing the victim, and this is the same.
It's proof that the kumbaya face it's not real.
Yeah,
it never was.
Right, and also it's also proof that Sony, who pounds their chest about being the most dominant on the market, really is lacking in a way, is showing confidence that's not there anymore. They are scared that Xbox is going to do this. So how it turns out, we'll see. But all that stuff is been out there, and it was very interesting for discussion. And I remember on this show here that we talked about the Resident Evil deal, and we were all under the assumption that it was real, and it was real. 4 months later, people got DMCA'd for it because they were putting out the documentation, and they got DMCA'd for it, the strikes.
Yeah.
So you knew it was real, but it was just crazy to see also how a lot of people really didn't believe that stuff until it was for real, and a lot of people, Sony took a lot of heat the previous week.
Yeah, they tend to do that. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to the people in the chat powering the show, starting with Ashtray Gaming, Jenna Knight, Peter. We've also got General Spartan. Shout out to you, buddy. Pixelbit G, One Bad Mother. Shout out to you, man. Spooky Sprocket. I was just in a party with him last night playing State of Decay 2. We went back and had some fun with that, along with Bushido. This Pain. We've got, hang on, we got a few more here I want to get. Malasco. Shout out to you, Yodani, as well as Hargeet. And, Casket Repair. Thank you guys for showing up again, guys. Sorry we had some technical difficulties. We're already about 10 minutes late, but if you're here, hit the like button, share it out, help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it as we are talking about all the latest gaming news. Yes, this is Call of Duty Vanguard running on Xbox Series X. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The stream is now up in 1440p. I figured this would be a good example of that. We're going to show Stormrite here soon, which is Kalechi's game. Actually looks really, really cool. Zach, we got a few chats. You want to get these?
Yep, I got you, bud. So we got Russell Coaster. He says, I want to, and try Stormrite, but I cannot and will not support any game that deals with NFTs. What are your guys and the devs' thoughts on NFT and Stormrite?
That's a hardball right there, but we got to throw
it.
It apparently.
Yeah,
Kalechi, what are your thoughts on that?
Should I talk about it now or later when we talk about Stormrite? Should I just do it now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
might as well.
Hey,
So yeah,
I got to change the footage. Got to make it all official and dramatical and whatnot. There we go. Boom.
Right.
All right, go ahead. This is Stormrite, guys. Coming to Xbox. It's on PC. We got some questions, and obviously Kalechi here is the lead of the team. NFTs are in the game, apparently. What are your thoughts on people that really don't want to support that kind of thing?
So I understand the issue with NFTs in gaming in a lot of senses because most games are NFT first, gaming second, which I hands up do not support. I don't think that has a place in gaming. But we are using Engine's JumpNet chain, which is carbon negative. So first of all, we wouldn't have got involved if it wasn't environmentally friendly. But it's carbon negative and it's non-gameplay. So if you download Stormrite, you play Stormrite, there's no NFTs in it, and you don't have to even interact with an NFT at any point when you're playing the game. They're essentially so obviously we're a small team of 5. And me, myself, I'm a broke uni student, it gets hard at uni. I didn't have a budget initially. So we did the Kickstarter and that gave us a nice budget and it was good. We've been able to develop the game since then. But NFTs are essentially just a way to support the development process. So they're not for greed, they're not for monetary gain. We're not selling them unnecessarily. Literally every single penny of the proceeds from NFTs goes straight into the budget. So voice acting, hiring animators, environment artists, etc., just to help us develop the game.
How are they used in Stormrite?
So essentially, once someone buys a Stormrite NFT to support the project, we will get the funds. We'll be able to use that for the budget, and they will get an NFT which they can redeem in game. And then it's just a skin for an item. So for example, you have a sword, a regular iron sword in the game, right? But then you have a cosmetic skin that you bought from an NFT. You apply that to the sword. It doesn't change its stats or its gameplay stuff. So it's the same sword, same abilities, same damage. So it's not like pay to win or anything, but it just makes the sword look cool in game. So it's essentially a way of supporting the project, but also getting something cool in return.
So it's like a limited edition skin. You can think of it as kind of maybe not.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
A unique one that's kind of unique to your character. So you put in what you want. That's kind of cool.
Can you resell it? Because that's kind of the point of NFTs, right? Like if you get an NFT, that's supposed to be like ownership, right? So can you do something with it, like and sell it to somebody else? Or?
Well, that's all handled on the Engine platform. The Engine platform is I don't know if you know about Engine, but they're basically a centralized marketplace for NFT assets. Microsoft are affiliated with them in some sense because they have I don't know if you know about Azure. It's basically like a developer back end. There's like achievements for developers that they can get, and those are run through Engine. So Microsoft and Engine already have a nice relationship there. But someone just asking the question in the chat, can we earn NFTs by playing? No, you can't. Again, this is not an NFT game. There's no NFTs in the game. It's just externally to help support the project.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So cosmetically limited edition, possibly maybe resellable items depending on I guess what you plan to do. Zucker, go ahead and get the rest of these and we can come back to Stormrite.
Yep, got it. So we got Shooter. He says, hey, dealer and good panel members, have a beer on the D, fellas. Thank you.
Shout out to you, Shooter.
We got Bunty. He says, Wagwan
RDX.
Wagwan? RDX, I don't know. I haven't been here live in a long time. Give me a great show while I'm at work. Enough respect. Hey, hopefully we entertain you.
There you go.
We got Risk It. He says, paying for exclusivity, acquisitions, etc. That's one thing. It's fair part of the game. But paying to stop growth of competitors, that's shady as fuck.
Yeah. Chinook guy's next.
Yeah, we got Chinook guy. He says, you're seeing the real console war, boys. Legal teams battling it out. I mean, he ain't wrong.
Yep.
We got Dark CMF Fire. Always. Sony is scared, and so they've said that they're scared. Give credit where credit is due. Hit the like button, chat. Thanks, Dark CMF. Appreciate it. We got Scrub Nerfs, member for 16 months. Great to be here live again. Shout out to the great panel in chat. Hit the like button, and then we got MBG. He's a new member. Thanks, MBG.
Hey, shout out to you.
And then we got Danny
MBG.
Passion Official. Danny Passion Official just came in. Loving the new look. Hit the like button, chat.
Ooh.
Appreciate it, guys.
First off, Kalechi, I gotta apologize for just how toxic Dark CMF is. This motherfucker's so toxic. But no, seriously, the chat's going off today. Shout out to all you guys. I know that I want to cover Stormrite, but just last second thinking here. Is there anything that Xbox responded to with this blocking rights thing that we missed? Because I feel like we were on the topic, but we might have missed something. Is there anything at all anyone can remember that Microsoft said in return to Sony's, blocking rights or any of that stuff?
Not that I think of. I think we covered it all pretty much, man.
We covered it completely, even to the point where they talked about the latest was that they released that they were outsold 2-1. So
yeah.
Which we will come to.
Yeah.
But yeah, chat. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Tell everybody that you were live. We do appreciate you. Kalechi, tell us. Let me get my questions up here. I've got some questions regarding Stormrite again, a game in development for PC, Xbox, and you've got a lot of perspectives on development on the platform. So that's going to be fun. I am almost done stalling. 1 second. Here we go. Tell us a bit about the game, and again, what it's like to work with Xbox. My bad.
Yeah, so Stormrite is an open world RPG coming to PC and Xbox. It's set in a fantasy medieval kingdom of Red Reach, and it's the main aspect of the game is the magic and the magic combat and how the magic works in the game, but that's a little bit, I'll go into that in a little bit because that's quite detailed. But I'm working with Xbox. It's actually really, really easy. So essentially there's different ways to go about it, but the best way for indie developers is to sign up to the Idea Xbox program. So you fill in a form, It takes about 5 minutes, you send it off, and then you get a response back. They accept you or reject you. Luckily, they accepted us, and then they onboard you. So they tell you, how the program works. They give you a dedicated rep at Xbox to help you out with all your problems. They set you up with 2 dev kits, which are completely free. They just send them to your house, and
those are not cheap, by the way. They have 40 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, so they send you 2 free dev kits to get started. Yeah. That's big.
It is. It's crazy because, like, as an indie team, if you wanted to go through that process and buy those dev kits, it would be like almost impossible. For example, me, like I said, I was a broke uni student when I started. I could not afford those. So the fact that they just give them out for free to developers where they think their project looks promising is great.
Yeah. By the way, chat, if you got any questions, I'll obviously pick out some, if they're appropriate, I'll pick them out and maybe we'll throw them in there if he wants to answer a few more. But so working with Xbox and getting a deal with ID at Xbox, did they help you? Not that they do this for everyone, right? But did they help you with any funding, or are they going to handle marketing, stuff like that?
They don't directly help with funding, but they do help with spreading the word. So they put our trailer on their YouTube channel, which got us which brought in a lot of attention. They retweeted our tweet on Twitter, which again, with their like 500,000 followers, is a lot of attention. And they can do that throughout your process for announcements and for demos and just general big stuff. They're always happy to just retweet your stuff and share it and put the word out. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. It kind of gives me Witcher vibes a little bit, which is great because that's probably the best game ever made. Nice. And it looks really good. What engine are you guys running this on?
We are using Unreal Engine 5. We started on 4, but then I moved over from 4 to 5 in like February, which probably should have done it a bit later because it was really buggy back then. So many problems. But I just wanted to get my hands on the new tech, so I did it a bit early, but it's fine now.
So the transferring from UE4 to 5, what does that process look like? Is that kind of painstaking?
Right now it's fine. It's really smooth. Back then, when the engine was in beta and there was like quite a lot of bugs, it was a bit harder, but it was still like relatively smooth. If you think about the way you're moving from essentially one engine to a not completely different, but a new engine, the fact that it only took like a couple weeks was pretty nice.
So how much manpower does that require? Some people think it's drag folder to file, compiling this will take 30 minutes to re-render. Like, how does this what kind of things do you have to do to actually upgrade that engine?
So we will have to download the new version of the engine, and then funnily enough, it is actually just initially it is just dragging the file across, but then that's how it is in theory. But then once you get into the problems, you know, little thing breaks here, little thing breaks here, this screen doesn't load, stuff like that. Because it is a new engine. You just have to kind of go through and play the game and work out where the broken stuff is and kind of fix it. It would be quite quick with a big team, but the way our team's set up, so we've got 5 people on our team, right? I'm the only developer. So this started off as a solo project in 2020 of January. Now we've got 5 people on the team, but I'm the only developer. So all the stuff in engine is handled by me, and then the other 4 members on the team are artists. One's a 3D artist, one's like a 3D pop artist, one's a concept artist, and one handles like the rigging and some of the animation stuff. So since I'm the only developer, I had to handle that bulk of work myself. But if we had a team of like 5 developers, it would have been maybe like a 2-day job.
Gotcha. Okay, so it depends on the workforce. Any particular, so Unreal Engine 5, which a lot of people would be happy to hear. Any particular things you're doing to take advantage of Xbox Series X and S?
So the main thing is Nanite. I don't know if you know what Nanite and Lumen are on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, so they are usable on Xbox Series X, which is brilliant.
Awesome.
Because that is, we've been making our game, we've been targeting high-end PCs, but also making our game available for low-end PCs. Like, so the way I have it, I have my high-power PC here, then I have my old laptop, so I test on both of those to make sure it runs fine on them, and then we have the Xbox development kits as well. But so Nanite is great. Lumen, performance issues a bit techie, but that's not Xbox problem. That's just an Unreal problem in general. And then just the general performance of the Series X it is a powerful console. Like the graphics card is, I think, equivalent to a 3060, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how AMD graphics cards work, like power-wise, but yeah, it's just a powerful console.
So I think a 3060 is like a 2080 Super or something like that. But that's a different architecture, different brand. But again, so Series X, you're running things like Nanite and Lumen, which is awesome. Pretty easy to get things up and running on those 2 consoles, Series S and X.
Yeah, it was. They gave us the dev kits and also Visual Studio licenses so we could move stuff over. And Unreal Engine has like plugins built for Xbox development. You've got to email Epic and tell them you've got a dev kit. Then they'll be like, okay, cool, here's the Xbox software and stuff, and it kind of just all links together.
But on a hardware level, it's pretty easy to get up and running though. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
What made you bring this game to Xbox? Because we hear a lot of, hey, the game's already on PC. The development between the 2 is pretty seamless, really, you know, when you compare it to the other platform. Is that a reason why you're bringing it to both these platforms?
Yeah, because, well, essentially, I wanted to put Stormrite on a console. I feel like open world RPG, it makes sense. Like, it would be silly not to put it on a console kind of thing, because it's just such a console-friendly game. So I had to choose initially one because, again, we're a small development team. I thought it would cost a lot of money. Turns out with ID Xbox, it's free, but I was mistaken, so I thought it would cost a lot of money initially. So then I just thought, okay, well, I have an Xbox, so I might as well make it for Xbox, because I don't want to make a game that I can't play myself. That was the initial decision. And then once I found out about ID and Xbox, it was a no-brainer, basically.
Well, here's another no-brainer. This game is 60 FPS, is it not, on the console?
Well, I hope so. On like low settings, it is. Medium settings, it is.
What?
We're optimizing. Don't worry. It should be.
Okay. Yeah. Not MVG says, is it 60 FPS? Listen, Kalechi, it's got to be 60 FPS. There has to be a 60 FPS mode there, and it really, developers got to make this stuff standard, because guys got to understand the difference and the value of 60 FPS, especially in open world games. I'm just throwing that out there.
And 100%. The final game will be 60 FPS. We're not going to release it without it being that. But right now, since we're in development, it's not quite.
Gotcha. And also tell people, like, where can they when can they pick this up? And obviously, what's it cost and stuff like that?
So, the cost we're looking at by the release will be around the $30 mark. We feel like that's a reasonable price for a game like this. And release date, we haven't got a release date set at the moment, but we're planning on doing a demo. Probably start up next year, because it depends when, really, because we want to release the demo close to the release of the game, and we don't want to leave it too late, but we don't want to do it too early either. There's a lot of like technicality that goes into timing a demo, and also we've got to make sure it's a polished demo. So there will be a demo coming out, so you won't have to wait for the full game to get your hands on it, but we just can't exactly say when those will be. But when we know when they will be, we'll announce it straight away on all our avenues and all our socials.
we've seen Microsoft do a lot of deals with developers, that are kind of in similar situations, and bring that thing to Game Pass. How much would they have to give you to bring it to Game Pass day one? You don't have to answer that.
I don't think I would answer that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, man, thanks. It's I think the game looks cool. When I saw it, I was like, what is that? And then we learn it's from a small team of guys that are getting up and running. It's awesome. So again, this is Stormrite. We'll know more about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the show. But it looks pretty damn cool. Strong Witcher vibes. I don't know if everybody's checking out the stream, but that's what you're seeing on screen right now. Unreal Engine 5. And it doesn't look bad at all, man. But
Thank you.
Hey, let's go back to another topic here. I don't know if any of the other panel has heard about this. Sony are doing something that we said they were going to be doing, and again, people like to talk that shit. Well, guess what? Sony do have a PC plan. They are working on a launcher. They're basically says Sony could be working on a PlayStation PC launcher that launches and includes cross-buy support, which is exactly what I said. I heard, and then also references to the PC launcher have been discovered in Spider-Man on PC, and it might even include some PSN integration, which is kind of big. I also heard there's some Deathloop DLC they're going to announce like next month or something. I don't know if that's true, but again, this is everything that we kind of knew was happening, Mav. I mean, Sony PC launcher, bringing game. Now, this is something that we've been talking about as well. I just got to reiterate, like cross-buy. That's big because we wanted them to compete with Microsoft on that. They've been making everybody buy stuff pretty much twice, right? Because of staggered releases. So if you get cross-buy, not only would that help you if you got a game that's already been out, but that would help you if you buy a game and it launches on PC and PlayStation at the same time. A launcher also is kind of a big deal too if they're going to do their own launcher, Mav.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been saying that, hey, why don't we ask for this stuff for PlayStation, right? Because, hey, Xbox has changed the game last generation, right? They kind of had to in some respects, but they've been doing so, and it's changed the landscape of gaming now. No, people on the other side over Sony diehards and stuff are like, no, we want things to stay the same forever. And go ahead and raise the price because I love it. It means my stuff is going to be better. I think
we're having stream issues again. Hang on.
I think it might be back.
Yeah. I got a ghost in my fucking router? What's happening?
I think so, man. I said anytime we bring up Sony, this starts happening.
Well, you had to go on your anti-Sony rant.
I'm not.
This is the second time, Mav.
I want more value.
This is acceptable, Sony. But it's just a little strange from you. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's like it's Jim Ryan.
We're good. Leave Jimmy and his Fruity Pebbles out of this. Right. But basically, again, I bring this topic up. We're good now. I bring this topic up because we had talked about a launcher that we had heard about Sony working on. Last I heard, it was supposed to launch the first half of this year. That didn't happen. Now we're hearing this stuff after Spider-Man PC releases. If you missed it before, guys, that's basically code in there saying, hey, it could have an integration with PSN, even a cross-buy PC launcher that they're working on. So this is a big deal because they are competing there. Mav, this time without so much toxicity, okay?
Okay, they are following the path carved out by Xbox. Is that less toxic or more? I don't know.
It's perfect.
But they are, and they're carving that. Xbox been carving that path and changing that landscape. Sony's following it. They've been like 5 to 7 years behind with services and stuff, and they see the bigger picture. Jim Ryan said himself, the console market is capped, right? So we've been seeing all these games come to PC, all their biggest titles. They want to release a lot more. Now, we've been asking, like, if they're doing this, they got to do cross-buy at some point, right? Because you can't just, like, expect everybody to buy the game twice or, like, handicap people like that. If you buy the game, you should own the game, right? And this is the kind of stuff that was weird because they're almost, like, arguing against this kind of things to, like, the regulators and stuff about how Microsoft is, going to put games in their subscription service and is going to change the landscape of gaming even more. Nobody can compete with GamePass and stuff like this. Meanwhile, they're still copying every step that Xbox has made in their own path now. Just they're behind on it, right? So it's really interesting to see what Sony's doing. I think that the play box is going to be a really interesting PS6. You know, it's going to be this ecosystem, kind of like Xbox has, where you're going to have, you know, your PC. You know, you got. I think in the future you're also going to have the cloud thing going on. This is
the
like
future
Xbox.
of gaming with Maverick.
It is, dude. It's the gold. It's a golden age of gaming, man.
Yeah.
Like this is what it's all about. Shout out to Pong Soul.
Shout out to Pong Soul.
Always says that. This really is this future, man, because we buy a game one place, right? If you look at Xbox right now, especially with this family plan coming, okay? You got $25 a month. You can go buy a Series S for like $250, or you don't even need a console. If you have in your house right now, if you have an iPad or a tablet, if you got a TV, if you got a phone, no matter if it's an iOS or Android now, you got PC, you got your console.
What are you trying to say, Mav? You're saying you could play on all those different devices basically for one cost?
Yes, for your entire family with multiple accounts. That's what it's going to be, right? So, like, Xbox is constantly finding ways to add value and lower the gate, right? Lower the barrier of entry to get more people to play. Now, people are like, no, Sony wanted to raise the barriers. Let's make games more expensive, right? We believe in generations, all that horse shit, right? But now you see Sony doing all the stuff that they've been saying they don't like. And the diehard Sony fans are like, yes, we don't want this. We don't want Xbox.
Okay, hold on, Mav. Hold on. Because holy shit, Mav. So it doesn't have to do with like them being behind on Xbox. This has to do with one thing, money. And the number one thing that they have going on is that they want to charge $70 on PC like they do console. That's why they're going at Xbox and doing everything they can to stop that, because every game that they've been a part of, either signed a deal with that came to PC, has been $70 on PC, and PC gamers are like, fuck you. That's exactly what they're saying to them, because they're not going to pay $70 for that shit. So that's just what's going to happen. So Sony's trying to make it basically like the normal, like, you know, household thing where you pay $70 for games. It's all about money. That's all you got to do is follow the money. And that includes everything with Microsoft and what they're doing. Follow the money.
Well, the blueprint's
every
there,
company's there.
Right? So yeah, they already know what's going to work.
But we talked about this. They hired a PC person, like a PC like developer, to help bring over stuff like this story. We talked about this 3 years ago. Me and Dealer talked about this last December. We both heard from two different people that this shit was coming, and we talked about it live on this channel at this podcast. So I'm not too worried about that. What I'm saying is that it's just going to happen a lot sooner than people think. That they're going to bring their games to PC, and Nixxes, that studio they bought, is going to be one of the biggest things they've bought. That's going to be one of their biggest developers they bought, because their ports are fucking great. Like, they are. They're very well done, and that's what Sony needs to do. The Horizon Zero Dawn port was not good in the beginning. That was really bad. It had a lot of bugs. It was fucking atrocious. And ever since then, they've learned, pulled back, and now they want to take over another space. That's all it is. Well, look
that's at this all Doctor too. Like, I mean, you're right. Definitely, that's going to come sooner or later. I mean, when they announced The Last of Us remaster make at the Gamescom, or not Gamescom, what was the show that we had, Summer Game Fest or whatever Healy show was? They actually announced it's coming to PC. Summerfest. Yeah, Summerfest. They announced it's coming to PC the same time that they announced it's coming to console, right? Also in development for PC. That was the first time that they've actually done that, right? So they are putting it now. PC and PlayStation are going to be one in the same ecosystem in the future, right? And this is the start of that groundwork. And there's a lot of people that don't like that. But I'm like, cool, right? Give gamers more value.
Don't give those people any attention. The people that don't like that are literally like 7. There's like 7 of them. And they're the most vocal idiots on Twitter. You don't give those people, like, everybody else wants that. A lot of people want it. Everybody wants it. Like, people don't just play on one thing. Like, that's just not how it is anymore. It hasn't been like that for a very long time.
But
like, I know you're saying, like, you could go anywhere.
About it last generation for so long, man. It's like, oh my God, you're putting my games on PC. I don't feel special anymore. Like, I mean, what is that? Like, why do people care?
Man, is on some shit today.
If other people get to play a game, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter? Now, if you can only have to buy the game once and you get to play it multiple places, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I'm glad Sony's doing this.
It's pro-consumer, right? I mean, Kalechi, what are your thoughts on Sony making their own PC launcher? And, you know, I don't know what kind of percentages or rates they're going to split with developers, but, you know, it's still kind of interesting to see, given that, you know, 10 years ago, Sony, you know, they would spit on a PC. You know, now they're kind of looking at it as an option after seeing a lot of revenues and profits.
Yeah, I guess, like I said earlier, it's just they're doing what's best for them, I guess. Like they see the money, they see the opportunity, so they're going onto PC now. Um I hear it. Like if you're gonna release your games on PC, I guess, having your own launcher would kind of make sense. But yeah, I mean, I just again, I don't understand. I don't see if they have a streaming service that works through their launcher, that would be cool. If they didn't, that would also be cool, I guess. But I would personally just buy them on Steam. Like if they kept releasing PC games on Steam, I would just buy them on Steam.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go and buy them on the PlayStation launcher, unless they were significantly cheaper. But I don't see any reason why I would.
I don't think they would even be cheaper. I think it would be the same price. I think the incentive is cross-buy.
Yep, the incentive is going to be the same. Cross-buy, cross-save, and then trophies or achievements, right? That's the big thing. When you're on Steam with Xbox, you don't get achievements. So like stuff like that, like that's where it's going to be. Like if you want to be a part of the PlayStation ecosystem, that's going to make it an incentive. That's an incentive that Xbox does.
Yeah.
When you buy their game, right? Like if you have Game Pass on Xbox, you can literally take your save and go to PC. Like that's what I do multiple times every week. I play on PC and Xbox. That's what they're trying to do, is get that going. Now, of course, they're going to put it on Steam. Steam has like 150 million active users a damn month. Yeah. And it sells like crazy, and everything sells great there. And of course, they're going to do that. They're going to put it up there also. They're just going to open up their platform, open up their games and their software, and put it where people are to make more money.
Yep. I mean, it's common sense, right? By the way, Zalker, line somebody's up. I'm going to give a few shout-outs here. One bad mother's right. He says Sony, they're blocking every AAA game from Game Pass. He's exaggerating. He knows they're not literally doing that. But he says they're doing that except their own. And I mentioned this in a party earlier. I said, it was in DMs to Nano, actually. Sony are blocking certain games from Game Pass, but they're fucking throwing their own shit in there. MLB Day 1. Now you got Death Stranding that's going to be soon announced for Game Pass PC. That's going to be joining Game Pass. It's weird how they're discouraging other developers not to do it, really forcing them through contract, but they're doing it themselves. Which is, those games are the reason why. Like MLB, having your own fan base, your own customer base pay $70 for a game while your competitor literally pays $10 or $15 to play it. Like right there, they're just like, fuck, that doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. That doesn't look good to them. It doesn't. And Colt has like 95 days in MLB this year. Like people are playing it. Like I played it. Yep. I have like 800, 700 achievement points on it. And again, that's why we always reiterate. They know the number they're going to get for it. They sign the contract knowing exactly what they're going to get paid. And, those things are agreed on by both parties. But we got Hargeet giving away some games and stuff in the chat. Zach, go and catch us up on these. Shout out to everybody watching us live. Sorry for the technical issues. Hey, if you're back, thank you.
All right, yeah. So we got Sith Lord. He says, my favorite Tuesday night podcast is on fire tonight. Thank you, Sith Lord. Appreciate it. We got Danny Passion Official. Here's setting up for a creative filming night. Let's go entertain me, RDX.
What are you filming, Danny?
I don't know.
He's filming some weird stuff over there.
Some prawn. We got Risk It. He says, "Is this fully open world? Can I murder quest givers?" I think that's to you, Kalechi. Talking about your game.
Some of the quest givers you can murder. Some of them you can't. But there's a lot of branching quests. We're trying to give the player as much freedom as possible. Our quest system is built so it is like fluid, and quests can kind of recombine in the future, so your actions have consequences, but they don't also ruin your game. We're just trying to give the player freedom.
Hardcore. Thanks, man.
I like it.
We got Garuda Intruda. He says, all these game delays are making 2023 the most stacked year in recent memory. Could 2023 generally be the best gaming year ever? I honestly think so. I mean, I think things are going to get delayed in 2023, so I think it's going to, the games that got delayed this year are going to come out, and the ones that were supposed to come out in 2023 are going to get delayed. It's just going to get pushed.
The first 6 months alone are insane. Even if only half of those games come out, that's enough for an entire year.
Way to jinx it, Mav. Now none of them are coming out.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, with a lot of delays. We got more information on even more later in the show, but I think there's going to be a few good games coming out this year for sure.
Yeah, we also got Risk It. Is the game delayed yet? I think he's talking about just any game.
Yeah.
We got Dark CMF, spread the toxicity, play some games. $50 Xbox. There you go. He put a code out. Thank you, Dark CMF.
Hell yeah.
We got Viper XT incoming PC tax for Sony games.
Oh my god.
Damn. Toxic. We got Hargeet dropping an ASC Odyssey unlimited global code.
That's
Thank
the
you,
best
buddy.
Assassin's Creed, by the way.
Yep, it is. And then Hargy dropped another PC tax Spider-Man Steam global code and a God of War Steam global code. What the hell, Hargy?
Yep.
Hargy's such a nice guy and copy and paste.
Hargy's awesome. And by the way, chat, there's a few people that expect, way more codes than people even drop already. Like, it don't take much, but just say thank you. Definitely.
Hargy still hasn't bought me 5 Guys, so fuck him. We got El Menopio. He says, there is potential for Sony to re-release back catalog ports for PC now and resell them on PS5 as remasters. I don't know about all that. Maybe.
Perhaps.
I don't know. Per schmaps.
Anyway, I don't know how much. I don't really care to stay on the launcher topic all that more. It's pretty straightforward.
Let's move on. I think Mav's gonna have a fucking aneurysm when we do.
Yes, let's keep going.
But definitely a thing that I think they're working on again. We'll see if Sony have that Deathloop DLC announcement, which would suck because they got that game. Sony have gotten 2 Xbox games before Xbox did. The Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. Now they might have a DLC announcement for it. So hopefully we get Deathloop sooner than later. And again, we did just cover the Death Stranding thing. GamePass PC account on Twitter changed their profile pic to match the exact background of a scene from Death Stranding. Just zoomed in. Somebody figured it out instantly. Some people thought it was Hellblade 2, but that game will apparently be coming to PC Game Pass. And there's others like Immortals Phoenix Rising hitting August 30th, Midnight Fight Express, and Tinykin. When does Midnight Fight Express come out?
I thought that was September.
So
I'm not. Let me hold on.
Maybe it comes out.
It was on their list of the Game Pass games.
Yeah, Midnight Fight Express is like one of those games they showed
August 23rd, August 23.
Awesome. I actually wanted to play that.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's going to be fun to play. And again, we do got to shout out to over 900 of you back here watching. We do appreciate you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. There's a ghost in my router. So let me go to the next topic here. We can start with Tim Dog. Tim, did you see Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 single player? Did you see this first look earlier?
No, I didn't. What was it about?
It's about looking incredible. It looked incredible. Like the game, this game is going to push hardware. Like it looks phenomenal. I can't wait to play it. It's the first big Call of Duty that's released since I've really gotten into Call of Duty. It's the first big. That's the key word. But they do say you could play it early. I think a week early. Does anybody know the damn stipulations behind that? Do you have to be on PlayStation?
No, because they advertised it on Xbox.
So
yeah, that's weird.
So if you pre-order it, you get to play it a week early?
I think so. I don't know. Let me look up.
I think it's across the board.
I think so.
Pretty sure.
Well, that's a big deal, Maverick.
Yeah.
I like it.
It is. I think it's across the board, but I think I was like, oh, they have they're talking about Call of Duty. What's going on here? Like, what's weird though, if you go back to the
digital pre-orders,
digital pre-order, any of them
provide. It says digital pre-orders of Modern Warfare 2 provide early campaign access.
I think that's on all. I think it's on all platforms, though. I think it's on all.
Yep. Digital pre-orders can play the campaign starting October 20th, well ahead of the full game launch on October 28th. Pre-ordering the game at all will also grant you 2 days of early access to the game's upcoming beta.
Well, I want to know what Phase 23 Brooklyn, New York thinks about it in the chat. Also, shout out to Titan Drago in the chat. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, you guys, if you didn't see the Modern Warfare, campaign reveal, basically is what it was. It looked really, really awesome. I don't know if anybody else in here caught it. Mav, you're more of a Battlefield guy. So am I, but you got to admit it, the lack of Battlefield games, at least traditional kind of, tanks and shit on the ground Battlefield, that's turned me more towards Call of Duty. I'll play both, obviously, but what do you think about this campaign?
I'm freaking excited, man. I mean, the last Call of Duty Modern Warfare game was 2019. That was my favorite Call of Duty in a long time. Since back Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 days, So I'm really pumped for this one. I think it's probably the most anticipated Call of Duty in years. And I mean, like, even before the 2019 Modern Warfare, because that was still as an Infinity at that time, is Infinity Ward still the greats? Are they still capable of pulling out a great game? And then when they came out with that one, it's like, yes, they're back. Infinity Ward is back. And this game is going to be the next step up, I believe, with that. And it's going to be possibly the first real true, test this generation for that big step up for Call of Duty, because the last 2 games were a little broken. right? At times. Now, Black Ops Cold War, I had a lot of issues with that on console. It crashed all the time. If you turn ray tracing on, it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that this one is polished for them. And if it's not, then I'm probably going to be done forever.
Well, Ace Out Gamer's not done. He says the campaign looks so good. Sappho says, yes, it's the beta that's a week early, not the campaign. Thank you very much, sir. And I mean, hey, Mav, we have no reason to hate on it at this point besides its entire legacy and history, okay? No, we're just going to take this product for what it is and play it.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's going to be, we're going to try it. I'm going to try. I skipped Vanguard. Vanguard is, you said I'm more of a Battlefield guy, but honestly, I've been both, right? Gotcha. And Vanguard is the only Call of Duty I have not bought since Call of Duty 2.
Sorry, hold on. They're wrong. It's the full campaign. You get the full campaign. I'm looking at it right now. Announcement. Digitally pre-order Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 to play the full campaign up to a week before launch, starting October 20th.
Yeah, you get campaign. You can basically get game at early access, and they lock off multiplayer for a week. But again, I mean, Modern Warfare 2. Did you see it, Zucker? Did you actually get to watch it?
Oh yeah. I watched it. I watched it right now when we were chatting. I saw the announcement on the Xbox channel.
Yeah, it looks.
They have it all there. It looks freaking amazing. Yeah, I can't wait, and I can't wait till they show Warzone 2.
Yeah, so, that's going to be a big reveal.
That is a massive reveal that I'm waiting for. I play Warzone more than I play the campaign. I play Warzone like crazy. So,
did y'all finish the story on Modern Warfare, the 2019?
Yes, man. We've talked about that a million times. Okay, we're just going to move forward. Call of Duty looks amazing. We're going to play multiplayer together. You're going to watch me get shot in the face, and we're also going to talk about something else here. Oh, man, this is a kind of a weird time. Did you guys hear about this? This is kind of crazy. There were some, you remember Spider-Man went to PC, right? And motherfuckers was pissed off and sawing their PlayStation 4s in half and all this stuff. But there was also, there was even bomb threats over this. Did you guys hear about this?
Bomb threats?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there's bomb threats over the Spider-Man PC port.
Seriously?
Yeah, towards PlayStation HQ. I don't want to stay on this very long, but this is just stupid. It's fucking video games. Like, I know it's all, they were just, they were never going to do it, but still, this is just so stupid to see that.
One of those 7 idiots I told you about, people that are on Twitter that have no life and just stay on Twitter all day and just tweet all day about console shit. Just tell them to shut the fuck up. They're the people that like Spider-Man goes and stops in the city, right? Like,
I think there's a lot more of those morons out there than you think there are, Zucker. I see them like all over the place on Twitter too.
I think they create different accounts, and I think that
it's the same 7 people just with like 100 accounts.
Fucking 7 people.
It's not literally 7 people, but I get what he means. It's a very small percentage. It's less than 1%.
Yeah, it's less than
0.2%. There you go.
Yeah, they just fucking. Who cares about those idiots?
Chat, let us know what you think about that. That's kind of unfortunate. Also, there's some unfortunate game delays. Hogwarts Legacy will now launch February 10th. Not a hard delay, like it's an internal one, but they did say expect it this holiday. That's not the case, but again, that's coming out January or February 10th, 2023. And of course, we got Evil Ghost. Or Evil West, Evil Ghost. Shout out to him. Evil West will launch November 22nd now. So November 22nd for Evil West. Hogwarts, that's a big one. Kalechi, were you interested in Hogwarts at all?
To be honest, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. I know it's crazy, a British person being into Harry Potter.
Blasphemy, mate. Blasphemy.
No. I was going to try it out because it looks really cool. It looks very cool. But I guess.
It's huge. It looks huge, don't it? Like it's really, really. When they showed off a lot of stuff, and I'm like, wow, they've been building this bitch for a minute.
Yeah. Like, the trailer was amazing.
I think it's more than just the trailer. I think it just they know what Harry Potter fans want. Like they said it themselves. They're like, we can't just have like people roaming around Hogwarts like you've seen it in the movies. Yeah. We got to go to shit that they haven't seen. And he's like, we can't have you like look outside the windows of Hogwarts at like a mountain and be like, ooh, like, that's cute. They said that. They're like, you got to be able to go to that mountain or go beyond the Forbidden Forest or go beyond here, see new creatures. And it sounds like they went in depth. Like they're going to probably take some liberties and add stuff to the lore of the game or the world, which I'm very happy with. And if anybody saw, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on with Warner Brothers. But the whole like merger thing that's happening now, that's almost done. Like Zaslav is taking out like all these movies, cutting out Batgirl, all that shit. The one thing that they were surprised about, apparently, is being reported, is how profitable the games are. They're they're surprised of how profitable Warner Brothers games are, and they're almost going to leave it completely alone to let them do what they want because they make money. And they're just like, yeah, you guys know what you're doing over there. Like, and so that's like what's been kind of reported, and people don't talk about it a lot because they're more focused on the shows and the movies and the act and all that bullshit, right? But man, the gaming apparently does a lot, makes a lot of money. So leave them fuck alone, give us our games, and let Warner Brothers do what they got to do, man. Because I want that Wonder Woman, I want that Hogwarts, I want that Suicide Squad, I want Gotham Knights.
There's also a Lord of the Rings Middle Earth game that is apparently being worked on. So,
Private Division's publishing that, right?
Thanks, Private Division.
Multiverses, right? Like, look at Multiverses. They announced over 10 million people in just their beta have played the game. Like, it's insane. Like, they're gonna hit 20 million or maybe more. Season 1 just launched. They've made a shit ton of money. Like, I don't know, man. WB has some freaking awesome games. So Hogwarts looks amazing. I know it sucks that it got delayed. I was looking forward to it for December because it's like, my work closes down for like 2.5 weeks. So I was about to, fucking put a robe on and become Harry Potter for like a week. But here I am. Waiting until February.
Tim Dog died. This just in. He's not here. But hey, again, shout out to everybody watching this live, guys. We had over 1,000 people a second ago, and it dropped. So I'm guessing we're having a few more issues for some people. But we do got to say thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy to we're live. We've gone over a Stormrite, which again, looks awesome. Unreal Engine 5 is coming for the next generation systems as well, Xbox and PC. That's awesome. But I mean, Kaleshi, how did COVID at all affect your game development? I know it's probably not as much, seeing as it's a smaller team, but did it complicate anything?
If anything, COVID helped us a lot, like a lot, because all the so we're a global team, right? And there's no one based physically near anyone. We're a team of 5. I'm based in the UK. One's based in Australia. One's in New Zealand. One's in Italy, and one's in the United States. So we do all our
never sets on your goddamn studio, bro. Like,
literally, arranging a meeting is impossible.
That's what Moon Studios does, which did Ori. They're an online studio as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so like we're just global. We do everything through Discord. So like the fact that everyone was forced to be at home kind of just helped us. And I was obviously couldn't go back to uni, so I was here with my full setup, able to develop as well. So it really did just help me. It didn't hinder me in any way, but I know how it did hinder some actual.
You guys were already equipped to like work online and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, you were like, all right, now we're all home a lot more. Let's pull some overtime. But again, I just figured I would throw that in there since it was popping up. Hogwarts. Yeah, what is it? Evil West or Weird West? I keep forgetting.
Crap. Evil West. Evil West.
That
game looks so good, dude. That game looks sick.
At least that one didn't get delayed to 2023, though. It's still November.
Yeah, which is good. And THQ Nordic say they have 43 games in development, and still there's 25 still unannounced, which is kind of a big deal. I would like to see some more of those. They announced an Alone in the Dark game recently. Is that the one, if I'm remembering correctly, on the 360 generation, you walked around with a torch, right? Is that?
It was Atari.
Yeah, Atari. Yep, that's the one. Mm-hmm. So they're rebooting that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if how many people care about that.
I saw the trailer. It looked pretty good, man. It looked high production, like high quality game. I mean, I liked what I saw. I'm not a big like horror fan. I don't care about playing those types of games. I get kind of bored. But I mean, I get why people like them. I mean, I feel like right now is like the renaissance of like all these like dramatic horror games, right? Like Callisto Protocol. It's like, a little bit of a horror game. Like all these games coming out are very horror-esque, and that's what's happening. It's all like now Alone in the Dark and everything like that. Like to me, it's all good. Like it's great. Like cool, people play them, but those don't excite me as much as others.
You're scared. We get it, bitch. You're scared.
Shit, I play games to escape, not cry.
Hey. Hey, let me give a few shout-outs. You can queue up some of these chats, man. Shout out to Bud the Cyborg. Shout out to Psychonauts. He says, what's up, Dealers, Zucker, and others. Also, we've got Alexander in the chat. We got Papa Smurf. We've also got, what is that, Mafro? Shout out to you, buddy. Jedi Knight Peter. And we can't leave out Michael Monkey Punch, Destro, Ace Out Gamer, And Patrick, shout out to you, buddy.
All right, so we got some of these super chats. We got a member for 38 months from Xbox Obi, the homie. Zalker, why are you always lying? Love. RDX days are the best days. Hit that like button. Obi, I've never lied. I'm like Abraham Lincoln. And then we got Risk It. He says, Midnight Fight Express is fully mocapped by the guy who did God of War 2018, and the stunt guys was also from God of War. Looks good.
Damn.
Yep, they showed that in the trailer. They talk about it like the stuntmen from God of War and the fighting in there. That game looks sick, dude. It comes out next week too. It's like little gems like that just drop into Game Pass. You're like, oh hell yeah. And then the last one we got Splendiferous. He says delay everything. I'm pro delay. That will give me time to catch up on the games in my sunken place. RDX, that shit, hit that like button, and Hargeet is an insider. What the hell is going on, Splendiferous?
Splendiferous.
I had difficulty reading that, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Tongue twisting some bitch.
Yep, he's drunk. No, shout out to Splendiferous, man. I just sent you a message. I replied to your message on Xbox, by the way. Did you guys know that Microsoft finally admitted that the Xbox One sales were less than half of the PS4? And that's interesting considering we haven't had official Xbox One sales numbers in 7 years.
58 million, right? They said 58 million of the thing. To be honest, I was like, oh, you sold more than I thought. I thought they were at like 45 to 50, like, something like that. But yeah, 58 million, I guess. Hey, man, whatever. There you go. 58 million now.
Pretty close to what I think BG Charts already had up there. So it wasn't really a surprise. You know what I mean? But it's interesting to actually get the official confirmation.
Yeah, they got crushed that generation.
They totally did. That's why Sony, when they're like, it's anti-competitive, they're like, bitch, look at us.
It's convenient. It's convenient to admit it now, right? Like.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I told you, follow the money, man. They're like, actually, no, we're not doing well.
Hey, Tim Dog, Microsoft finally admitted they got crushed last generation. Do you think this generation will be any better? By the way, I came to you earlier, but you were gone.
Yeah, no, I was indisposed at the moment. No, I had to do something.
Fight an alligator in my toilet. Yeah. So what do you think about the 58 million?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a much better. Listen, last generation was a generation that pretty much was so bad that it almost basically took down the whole entire Xbox itself. They talked about getting out of the console business. Satya wasn't a believer. That whole thing happened. We rehashed that stuff 100 times over, but that's how bad it was. I mean, there were months where I believe May of 2014, they had sold like 60,000 in MPD and like just ridiculously low numbers.
Yeah.
So the fact is, though, this generation is off to a much better start. The word of mouth just generation is, I'd argue that, you'd say that the Xbox is actually leads in word of mouth. Like right now, it's a popular system. There's none of these problems that it had previous generation, whether it was underpowered. I mean, you guys remember there was a myriad of stuff that would just like people would make fun of the system. It was too big. It looks like a VCR. It's not fun. Everything is turned around, and Xbox last generation saw the industry changing, or Phil per se definitely saw the industry changing, and now where it was a whole control-centric-esque world last gen, now it's more of a monthly active user who's using your system.
Mm-hmm.
And in that aspect, I think Xbox is going to be the leader very shortly. To compare this generation to last, this generation, put it this way, this generation, there's a strong chance they'll be number one gaming company or right up there with it, neck and neck. Where last generation, we almost didn't have an Xbox. Came very close. It could have been a far different landscape if it wasn't for some things like Game Pass and some things that just hit.
We got a correction, by the way. It's 52 million, not 58. 52 million.
52.
So it's even worse.
God damn it!
We gave him too
Xbox.
much credit.
They'll be in the 100 million area, this thing, and that's just for console. Like I just said, it's a different ballgame now. It's more who's in your ecosystem, who's spending money, and active users. But I think though even so that they're doing great with the console. Last I heard, they've won the share. They've taken share for the
first time in forever, right?
Yeah, so they're doing really good. It's positive times for Xbox.
And they're not. And the best thing, Tim, they're not. They're not going to blow their own foot off with a magnum this time around by doing all the same mistakes that they did in 2013, right? So they instantly basically went to a boxing match with one arm when they did all that stuff. And from this point forward, with the platforms they've got, the performance they're getting, and of course the studios that will be putting out games next year and stuff. It's looking good, man. Kalechi, did you ever? I'm sure you obviously noticed the last generation of consoles, but going forward, do you think that things are going to play out much different for series consoles and the way Microsoft are going? Do you think they're going to gain more market share over PlayStation than they have this past generation?
Well, yeah, I definitely think it'll be an improvement because, Game Pass has brought a lot of people who probably wouldn't have bought an Xbox or thought about getting a Microsoft product. Maybe they've decided to get an Xbox because of it. And also Game Pass is, like I said, it's just bringing people to Xbox. So it'll definitely be better. But I guess we got to wait and see how Sony play this, how it all plays out, how the PC launcher with the streaming service launches and the cross compatibility and all that stuff. But I think it'll be a lot more even this generation. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's. I think they're going to be a lot more competitive, and I think that's why Sony are basically trying to sabotage this Activision deal by saying that they can't compete with certain things when we know that they can. They can definitely compete. They might not want to, at least as quickly as they need to, but they're going to have to compete. They can do it. Again, there's one more thing I wanted to rattle off real quick. Phil Spencer, he goes to Rare. He went to Rare over there in the UK, and for the first time in years, he was there catching up with developers and potentially asking them the most important question: what the fuck is Everwild?
Yeah, I mean, I think they don't have to go to Rare as much. I just don't think they have to go to Rare as much because, they're announcing every time you hear about Sea of Thieves, it's 30 million people now, 35. It's geez, it's trust me, I just played Sea of Thieves last weekend. I continuously played that game for however many years it's been out, but they haven't brought anything else out since Sea of Thieves, and sure they bring out all the content there, DLC stuff, but Everwild was announced 2 years ago. We haven't heard anything from it. We heard that it kind of started all over. The director left, and some other person's directing it now. So yeah, I'm sure Phil Spencer went over there to be like, hey, what's going on? Because they expanded. If you guys remember, after Sea of Thieves came out, they expanded exponentially. They brought in I think it was 100 more people into that studio.
Yeah.
And it was an insane amount of people because they knew that they had a big hit with Sea of Thieves. They wanted to get people to make content for it, but also get Rare to make something else. So yeah, we need to see what they're working on. I'm excited to see what they're working on. I trust Rare explicitly now. So I just want to see their next game because I'm going to play it like hell probably. I hope it's good. I hope it's maybe in the same vein of mechanic wise as Sea of Thieves, or I can just, fuck with people all day because it's great.
I don't know. That's not what this is. This is a co-op fantasy animal farm building.
I mean, we don't know what it is. It might be completely different now. Next thing we know, the next trailer is an animal ripping a kid's head off. You don't know, man. All right?
We had some creative differences with Ralph when he's gone.
Bring back Viva Pinata. Let's go.
Mav, are you going to ask for Conquer next? Are you going to ask for Banjo-Kazooie next time, Mav?
Yes, I want that too. I mean, we want Rare doesn't like to make retread stuff. They always like to make something new, but somebody's got to make some of these classic games.
The sex bots here.
Come on.
They don't need to make those classic games. You don't need to make Banjo-Kazooie again. Nobody cares.
No shit.
Oh, come on.
Contract it out.
Don't tell shout out to Boom. He's I think he dreams about that every night. He wants Banjo.
that got super.
I heard it.
Got creepy. That got creepy. Mav, I don't know if it's you that's dreaming. You're projecting on Boom, bro.
Maybe. I mean, Banjo's a classic franchise. It goes all the way back to the 64 days. One of the more beloved platformers, I would say, for sure, right?
But nobody bought that team. It was basically the same team that built Banjo, that built Ukulele, and nobody
they're sitting out there.
Nobody bought the game that they made though, which is basically Banjo again.
Yeah, but that's just, you could do more if you like have Xbox behind you and stuff, really like pushing it. I think the other one, that had side-scrolling one, wasn't that in Game Pass? The second one they had come out. I don't know how that did also, but like Ukulele wasn't Banjo. It didn't have the same,
I think Banjo has a. I'm with you, Maz. I think it has a potential to make to sell a lot, to be very popular. If done right. Obviously, you can't shortchange it. You have to, have a quality game behind it. But I believe in the franchise. I think it's a good mascot type thing for the system. But the way I look at it is, if they didn't do it by now, the likelihood of it really happening I would say slim, because it's one of those things, like, either you see the potential in it or you don't. And it's kind of like this podcast, like, Dealer and Zorka don't see anything in it, and me and Maz see a potential for a big game. Now, personally, like I said, I don't think anything's happening with it. There were rumors of it to be at E3. They got shot down. It was all made up.
Again.
But I do think they if not Banjo, and I don't think either Conquer, because I think that they don't like his risque humor. They do need a mascot. They need something geared, a Sonic or something that would bring some just fresh.
Bring back Earthworm Jim.
When they get Activision, they'll have Crash. Maybe they can do something with that. Do a kart racer with Beanox.
Hey, Crash 4 is really good.
The mascot to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like Master Chief. Killing shit.
Forza Kart. I think Clobril brought it up. There's like, like you could have, different. There's a lot. Put it this way. When you look at all the IP that Xbox is going to own, and the characters and iconic, game people, or whatever you want to say, Master Chief, Crash.
I think Justy Spud has a good point, Tim. He says Banjo would be in great hands with Toys for Bob, which are the developers of Crash 4. Like, that is a really, really good studio. One of the kind of underrated pickups from the Activision deal.
100%. That's Toys for Bob is going to be, they're going to be tasked with that. I believe. I do believe that's going to be their play, and Xbox has a lot of potential, but also just as a whole, the whole ecosystem with all the types of the game icons that they have within it, you could definitely make a Forza Kart or a Smash Bros type game. You look at the successful Multiverse, and I for one, I think those games are really cool. I like them.
Yeah, there's some place.
I'd rather take a Smash game and they make it like that. Like Multiverses is taking my life over. So if they can make something like that with all the Activision, Call of Duty, Bethesda characters, then yeah, you can start giving them, because I think that's what's helped Nintendo push their characters even more, is something like a Smash, where you have them in there and you're fighting with them and you get to know them a little bit more, and then people are like, oh, look at their games. Like, I get Mario and Zelda have been so popular for so long, but like they have other characters in the Smash thing that people are like, this is fucking awesome. So I don't know. Kirby, like Yoshi, whoever the hell. Like, I don't care.
Are we naming off Nintendo characters right here on the show?
No, but it just
goes, we are.
We're gonna get sued by Nintendo for promoting the game for free. God,
it goes to show you though that there is definitely a market for that. And it's just about Xbox tapping.
A market for Smash, not a market for.
Well, you got to think about the whole family initiative too. Though the game, like you have multiple devices. Kids now are so used to playing on tablets and phones and stuff. A lot of them don't even care to play on consoles. To be honest with you, until they get older, right? So if you get more of these like family-friendly type games going, that could be more attractive for a family to go ahead and sign up that Game Pass account.
Hey Mav, in the words of Michael Jordan. Fuck them kids. I don't care. I don't need them to be.
I know.
I want some mature
let's
shit.
Let's not ever say that Michael Jordan phrase on the show again, okay? Secondly, I'm selfish. I'm thinking about me. I'm not thinking
Exactly.
Billy down the street. I don't give a fuck if he's playing Mario.
You don't like kart racers, dealer?
No, I don't want to play a kart racer. I just don't. And
You're
I feel
talking
like
to the guy that like Forza Motorsport more than anything else, bro.
And I ain't trying to race around a little clown car, like some shit from a circus. I ain't trying to do it. So again, hey, I want to thank everyone for coming out and joining us. We had 1,000 plus at one point. We had a lot of technical difficulties. The internet went down multiple times, but you guys came back. We do appreciate you for sticking around. If you missed part of the stream, please go back and check it out on demand. This is Call of Duty Vanguard running on the Xbox Series X at 1440p, which might be a fucking mistake because apparently, the internet's just having issues now. So
you had that ghost before the
I know, but I bought a $450 Blackhawk to get this thing, and I got gigabit. I don't know what the issue would be. Maybe it's on their end, but I'll run the stream maybe at a slightly reduced bit rate. I overdo the bit rate, so the compression isn't as horrible. It's still bad, but I don't know. I'll reduce the bit rate some more, see if maybe it's the strain on the upload. But again, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting the show, making it what it is. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show. If you haven't, consider subscribing. I'll be making a video in the next day or two, and obviously be on the lookout for everyone on this panel, especially Kalechi. They are producing a game when it's pretty trying time for a lot of developers to make a game running on Unreal Engine 5. It looks pretty damn awesome. I'm going to put it on the screen, actually, as we give Kalechi his out after we get these remaining Super Chats, Zauker.
Let's do it.
Again,
we got
oh, you got
two
that?
more.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we got Spartan661. He says, Starfield wants Game of the Year. Elden Ring and God of War have and are coming out this year. I think it gives Bethesda the reason to polish and make it right to save their place for Game of the Year next year. What you think? Spartan, I think there's going to be a lot of competition next year. I think Nintendo might drop some shit that's going to have even more competition. I think Elden Ring. I don't care about Game of the Year either. I think Elden Ring this year, if it doesn't win it, it's fucking fixed. It's straight up. Elden Ring is literally one of the greatest games to ever come out. So yeah. So that don't edit me.
I don't know. God of War's coming out this year.
I'm looking forward to God of War.
Hang on, bitch.
Elden Ring.
God of War's coming out this year. God of War's coming out this year. Kratos says hi. But Elden Ring is pretty damn awesome. I mean, even I liked it, and I don't like Dark Souls games. So, yeah, I mean, you got a point. I think Elden Ring will probably take it because the most people will experience it, and it will have been experienced for quite some time, right, by a lot of people, but God of War will be more fresh on the brain. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're talking about next year. We're talking about this year, right?
Watch when the awards come out. As this Falls wins Game of the Year.
Every time you yell, your mic, basically turns itself almost off. So calm down.
It commits suicide. And I'm not even yelling. I'm talking normal. That's the sad part.
God of War versus Elden Ring this year. Let us know. Maybe it's not just those two. Let us know if you guys think any other games will win Game of the Year this year. But next year, Starfield, we don't know. Power Wash Simulator.
Let's go.
Anyway,
Dying Light 2, kill me. We got Hargi Chani. He says, since we have the numbers, we now can officially say PS4 constituted a monopoly for AAA console games with 70% worldwide market share. United States and /CA was the only place Xbox One was competitive with PS4. You toxic, Hargi.
Yeah, he is.
You toxic, and I like it.
Go ahead. Keep going.
That's all we got.
All right, I'm going to do some outros now. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Kalechi, let me put this up on the screen. But again, you don't have a release date for this yet. Naturally, you're showing it off, though. It looks fantastic. UE5. Oh, shit. I cannot show it. What the hell? That's locked out now for some reason. Anyway, I'm sorry. Stormrite. You can look it up on YouTube. You can look it up anywhere. The game looks pretty damn cool. It's coming to Xbox and PC. Thanks for coming on, and I know it's late there, but thanks for coming on and giving your perspective on a few things and telling us about the game, man. Where can people find you? And what have you personally been playing that's not Stormrite?
Well, thank you for having me on, first of all. It might be late, but my sleep schedule is so messed up. This is basically midday for me, so it's fine. To find Stormrite, I guess you would. The main thing is just if you do have a Steam account, then we would really appreciate if you could wishlist it on Steam, because that helps us so much with visibility. Basically, Steam just thinks, oh, this game's getting wishlisted, people like it, let's show it to more people. So that is really the one thing that would help us so much. And also, of course, we have our Twitter, we have our website, we have a TikTok now. If you're interested in TikTok, we're at Stormrite Game on TikTok. And games that I've been playing recently, I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys with my friends. Been playing Football Manager a lot recently. Well, not much, but we're starting a new save soon, so it's gonna be a lot of that. And I don't know, I've just been downloading random games on Steam, playing them for a bit, moving on. Like just cheap games that I can find that look pretty cool, and also Game Pass. I have Game Pass, so I just try out games on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're definitely a Game Pass believer. A lot of people are Game Pass believers. It's an awesome service. But thanks for coming on, man. Again, you can feel free to bail whenever I'm gonna do the rest of these outros. I just wanted to say thanks once more.
Thank you.
Hey, Mav, you
yes, sir.
You've been on a little tangent today, and I like it. Hey, what have you been playing, and where can people find you?
Playing a lot of stuff, man. I played was that Cult of the Lamb. Be careful, everybody. If you do the ritual that's early in the game before the tutorial that says to do it, you will screw up your game and you will play for probably like another hour or two and then have to restart.
So don't do the ritual.
Don't do the ritual until it tells you to, right? If you're going to be excited like I was, don't do it. You got to restrain yourself. All right. But I've been playing. I tried Way of the Hunter a little while ago. Played some Madden yesterday with the EA trial for EA Play.
How's that?
It's actually pretty smooth, man. Like I've kind of like COD. I've kind of taken a step back from Madden the last couple years, right? But I'm kind of starting to get excited for these games again that I liked a lot the last generation, right? So COD I'm excited for, Madden I'm excited for, and Madden's looking like it's the best one I've played in a long time. So I'm actually liking where that's going. Hate the Ultimate Team stuff still, how much they try and get out of people. It's pretty gross, but other than that, it's a really good game. But you guys, if you want to check out our channel, go to Fun Speculation on YouTube, Twitter Fun Speculation. We also have 3 podcasts we do. Mondays is Fun Speculation Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays, Pong Soul and I have a show called PM in the PM at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Fridays is Xbox Ultimate Podcast. And we had our 100th episode 2 weeks ago. So this Friday will be episode 102. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We kind of go sideways and gets a little crazy sometimes on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Also stream random games, and I'm trying to do more videos and stuff now to get more consistent stuff like that up on the channels. So thanks for having me, Dealer. It's good to see Zocker here and Tim Dog, and great to talk to you as well, Kalechi. I'm looking forward to trying that game out when it comes out, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, by the way, this zombies footage has me, Boba, right, and Lethal. And Lethal did great, man. He kept us up and running. He was killing some zombies. But yeah, definitely follow Mav, guys. And it's just shout out to Immortal Jedi. He says he thinks the old overlay looked better on the show. I respect the feedback, but this one also has the central franchise characters running in the background. It's just not, on the side, right? But Zalker, what have you been playing, and where can people find you, bud?
Yeah, know where you can find me, Zalker87 on Twitter, Zalker87 on YouTube, and I've been playing a shit ton of multiverses on my Xbox and PC, wherever the fuck I can play it, man. I've been playing a lot of that. I've actually been playing Rumbleverse also, which is the new Epic game they brought out. It's like wrestling in a city. It's a BR. You can do like elbow drops from the top of skyscrapers. It's insane. I've been playing with Shady a little bit. The game's just dumb, and it's fun, so we've been playing that. And then I've been playing Marvel Spider-Man on the PC, and it feels a gajillion times better on the damn controller, which is the Xbox controller. I just love it. I'm really actually playing it a lot. I have I think 4 or 5 hours in it, and I'm just having a lot of fun going through that game again, and it looks insane with everything that they have. The port's really well done. So yeah, I'm running it at 4K ray tracing, everything at 90 to 100 to 110 frames. It's a good port, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, that's what I've been playing a shit ton of, and to be quite honest, most of that's multiverses, because that game is one of the best games to come out in a while, and it's a lot of fun. Season 1 just dropped, so I'm going through that. Thanks for having me here, man.
Yeah, follow Zalker87 is Zalker87, and also xCloud Tim Dog, brother. Where can people find you? What you've been playing?
Find me on Twitter, xCloud Tim Dog. I've been playing Power Wash Simulator. I actually recommend this game. It's fun. It's addicting. I've put in about 8 hours. Played it on xCloud last night. at my mom's house on her couch for about 4 hours. It's cool. It's a cool game, and I could see why the hype has been there. Also, I am currently downloading Madden NFL 23. You can get your trial right now, 10 hours on EA Play. If you have that, or Ultimate users, you're entitled to EA Play, so you could just find it in the stores, go to free trial, download it. Today's the first day I believe you can start playing it. I'm hoping it's, I really enjoyed the last Madden, but that was after, 6 months of that update. So I'm hoping that this maybe from the start, has some new stuff, and I heard it does. I'll be back next week with a review of it, or tell you what I think of it. Can't wait. These times are great to have the chat always sticking in. These times aren't they're cool to have some news, but Xbox has been pretty dry for a long time too. So just shout out to the fans that keep coming back, and the chat and everything. You guys are the best. Kalichi, I am definitely looking forward to your game. Very good stuff in sight, and good luck with your Stormrite game.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Definitely. And by the way, Chad, if you haven't, consider subscribing. Hit the like button. I'll say it for the 47th time. I got a gun to the back of my head. And follow me on Twitter at dealer_gaming. Xbox Live is the best place to get a hold of me at ii_dealer_ii. And follow these guys on the panel. You guys are amazing. You're the best chat ever. Sorry for the technical difficulties again. We're going to go out and we're going to leave now. Bye.
Later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You guys have a good